I'd like to take a moment to talk about comments here on YouTube. It's something I've made a video on several times before, but the topic seems to keep coming up. This time it's not so much about comments in general, so much as it is about one particular thing that's been happening quite a bit lately. So there are these imposter accounts, and it's not just on my channel, it's widespread across a whole bunch of YouTube channels out there. But due to Google+, when you make a new account, you can set the display name to whatever you want it to be. It's not the URL when you actually go to the channel page directly, but as far as what you appear as when you search for videos, when you're displaying in comments, you can set it to whatever you want. I'm not sure why this was done, but it allows you to set your name to CaptainSparklez, for example, or to whatever other YouTube channel name you want it to set to, and then of course you can upload the avatar of that channel, and right there you can very easily impersonate someone in the comments. Now, my channel has a check mark on it, and there's also a blue, I think, silhouette around my channel name when I post in my own comments section. But those are very subtle things. So when you're scrolling through comments, it can be somewhat difficult to differentiate between the authentic original uploader and someone who's just got an impersonation account. So what's been happening quite a bit recently, I mean, it's happened in the past, but it's gotten very, very out of hand in recent weeks. It must just be this one particular person or group, more likely, going around impersonating a whole bunch of channels and leaving comments in their comments section that link out to spam websites. And they reply to dozens and dozens of comments on almost all the videos that I've posted recently, and it's gotten to the point where I've been contemplating just turning off comments altogether. And I'm making this video as a last resort to try out one more thing before I'm sort of forced to just disable comments. And I disable comments not just because I don't like to see spam, but more so for the protection of people who are scrolling through the comments who might not really pay attention to what the text in the post is, just, oh, CaptainSparklez link, click. And I don't want people to be clicking on that. And I should say, I've tried everything I can do from my end, like blacklist the comment phrases that they use, the URLs, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, every time that I do that, they just change the text, they change the links, so it's very, very difficult to combat from my end. So I come to you because you're my last line of defense, and I'm hoping what we as a group can do is that every time you see one of these spam comments from an imposter account, report it. There's a little drop-down menu on the right-hand side of every comment. You can click on that. It should bring up a bunch of options. You can report for spam. Now, on my end, if I see one of these accounts, I use the option that's hide all future comments from this user. Unfortunately, they make new accounts, new accounts, new accounts, new accounts. They must have made, I probably blocked hundreds of accounts at this point, and every day, they just keep popping up with new ones. I don't know what sort of resources they have at their disposal to keep making these accounts, but whatever it is, it's quite frustrating. So I'm hoping that we may be able to make an impact by doing that. We'll see how it turns out. I'll monitor videos for the next week or so, and then I'll update you guys on what I've seen, and fingers crossed that we can make good things happen, because it's quite a bummer. What would be really nice is if YouTube could sort of auto-detect, hey, this is a channel username that has a fair amount of subscribers. I don't know what the threshold would be. We probably don't want to let a bunch of people select this channel username because it's doubtful that they're using it for constructive purposes. That would be great. And I know that YouTube has done it for particular usernames before, but it's not a site-wide global thing. So maybe down the road the policy will be changed, but we'll see. For the time being, the final thing that we can attempt to do is report those comments before I'm forced to disable comments as a whole until the problem is solved. I like to mention I really do like having comments on my videos because for the most part, I do think they're actually pretty constructive, at least in my comments section. I've gotten a lot of good feedback, a lot of good advice from reading my comments, and I feel like it would be kind of a shame to have to disable them altogether just because one particular group is ruining it for the rest of us. But again, for the sake of everyone's safety, I don't want to have those comments that have links that could go to, I've not clicked on them. I don't even want to know what they go to, but I don't want other people accidentally clicking on them. And so for that reason, I gotta do what I gotta do. But until then, if you see one of those comments, please just report it and hopefully it'll make an impact. And I should also mention, this is not just limited to my channel. If you see these comments on any other YouTubers that you watch, I'm sure they would also very much appreciate it if you report those accounts in their comments as well. All over YouTube, if you see one of these imposter accounts leaving spam comments, just give it a report. Hopefully it can make a difference. Won't know until we try. But I do really want to say, like, I really appreciate when people leave comments, especially ones that are constructive, providing feedback on what I'm doing, advice, tips, things I should do. I really do appreciate it. So if you're someone who does that, thank you very much. And feel free to leave a constructive comment on this video if you wish to do so. Maybe we can drown out all of the spam as well. If you have a constructive comment, anything at all, it doesn't have to be positive, it could be negative. It could be saying, Jordan, I don't really like this thing that you've been doing lately, but here's why and here's what I would do instead. Feel free. And hopefully those comments can drown out all of the spam and whatnot that we have going on. So I think I've said all there is to say. I'll leave things off there. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully together we can make YouTube a better place. I'll see you next time.